This is Common Sense. I'm William Ferguson. Let's talk about trust. Who do you trust? Ford, the professor that claims Kavanaugh was at a party drunk and groped her, tried to rape her? Or do you believe the next one that said he exposed himself to her and forced himself into her face, but she pushed him away? Or do you believe the third one, which is really insane, that had nothing? Now, tomorrow is the hearing of Ford and Kavanaugh by an attorney from Arizona that is a sex crime prosecutor. Now, it's crazy because one came forward and said, "Oh, Kavanaugh, he was in a room at a party, we were drunk 36 years ago, and it was groping, and he covered my mouth, turned up the music, there was Mark Judge was in the room, and he jumped on me and him, and I was able to escape." Now, she has to testify tomorrow. But the thing is all of a sudden, the Democrats are saying, "Oh, I believe Professor Ford." Because she's a woman, I guess. I don't know. Actually, I think they are saying they believe her, but they don't. But they're saying it just because they can get the sympathy of the voters and say, "Oh, whoa, they were on the side of the woman that said something." Now, this country is not built on, he did it, he goes to prison. That's not how it works. There's an allegation made, and then the alleged perpetrator has the opportunity to defend him or herself. And then it is decided by either a jury of your peers or a judge as to what is believed. And tomorrow, I am looking very forward, and I hope that they are airing it, to hear Professor Ford. Because her story is so full of holes. She doesn't know when it was. She doesn't know where it was. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know that it was Brett Kavanaugh. That if she was assaulted and raped, if it was him. And so the thing is the Democrats, they know that Judge Kavanaugh is the swing in the Supreme Court because there are 9 judges. And right now it's 4 and 4. 4 liberal Democrat and 4 conservative Republicans. And guess where Brett Kavanaugh falls? Conservative Republican. And they don't want that because they're so afraid, and I don't know why, they are so afraid to lose Roe v. Wade. They want the murder of unborn children so fiercely. And I don't think it's just that. I think if a case were to come before the Supreme Court, that if the liberal side were to win, it would be immoral to society. It would be degrading to society. But the Democrats could say, "Oh, look what we did. We gave you this. We brought this to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court says you can do this." Now, whatever it would be, I don't know. But the Supreme Court, being liberal-leaning, would say, "Oh, okay, you can do that." Let's say it's some kind of drug use. just as an example. And the liberals, they bring this to the Supreme Court. Hey, let's have a certain drug legalized. And so, okay. Now, being liberal, that means that you're liberal pretty much with everything. Social, monetary, everything. You're just liberal. Okay? And so the liberals, they say, you can have this. Be liberal with it. Go ahead, kill yourself. We don't care. And so they get it passed, and then they can tell them, oh, look, we let you have this. But now we're going to tax you into the dirt, and we're going to force you into having health care even if you don't need it. We are going to run your lives. Because we let you have this, you are now, you are now going to vote for us. Because we gave you the Christmas present, we want a thank you card. Yeah. Put the X on your voting card for us, not them. But the conservatives, we live by a different rule. Because, you see, conservatism, that means you don't go out having sex with every single person you can or want to. That means you don't kill the unborn child. That means you don't go using whatever drug you want, getting drunk, doing whatever you want. But being conservative does mean we follow the Constitution as what the Constitution says, not what we want it to say. The liberals, they say it means what we want it to mean, not what it truly means. Not like the conservative. And so when we look at the Constitution and we read it for what it means. And it doesn't mean you can have anything you want. No. The Constitution is a protection of the people of the United States. It protects us from ourselves, from the government, which is what the Founding Fathers, the Pilgrims, and everybody else that came here first were after, to get away from socialist societies. Societies that said, you can do whatever we want until I kill you because I didn't want you to do it. And that's exactly what it was. If you said something against a lord, a king, a knight, a whatever, and they didn't like it, they kill you. Okay, that's basically what the liberal socialists in this country want. Now, another thing that us conservatives have is a belief in the Bible. Because the Constitution, the cornerstone of the Constitution, is biblical principles. So, the liberals, they don't want rules and regulations. They want to say, we are the smart. We are man. We are smart. We know how to live life. Well, that's wrong, because God is the creator, and the Christian knows that. We are humble enough to know God created us, and we are all created equal. But some of us, like the liberals, they have decided that they know better. Somebody taught them that they are better than everybody else, including God. Now, if you live by biblical principles, you truly understand what the Constitution says and means. If you don't live by biblical principles, i.e. being liberal to the point of danger to yourself and to others, and not in any like lethal or harmful way, but in teaching others that being liberal is good, that you can do anything you want because you're a human being. Heck, you can be a senator and kill somebody. As long as you got a good enough lawyer, you can get away with it. I'd say ask Ted Kennedy, but he's dead now. But he did get away with murdering somebody. A woman in Chappaquiddick. Now, the liberals, they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep Judge Kavanaugh from being a Supreme Court justice, because he is the swing vote. And they don't want conservative values in the United States. They want to say, do whatever you want. Whatever you want. But on the same hand, they want to say, we want regulations. We want higher taxes. We want to take from the people, not allow the people to have their hard-earned money. In fact, I've been watching campaign ads, and these ads, they show that the liberals, they are just pumping sunshine. They are lying, and they are abusing the simple-minded. And the simple-minded are believing what these liberal Democrats are saying. And a lot of the stuff that is coming across to the young college kids. They're 18, they can vote. Hey, let's give them free tuition. From where? Tax the people. That's how we'll do it. We'll take tax. Now the liberals, they say, well, we're just going to tax the 1% to pay for your college tuition and health care and whatever else we decide we're going to take money from them for. Okay, there's a problem with that. Overtax the 1%, and I'm afraid the 1% have enough money to say, oh, sayonara, I mean right now, and just get up and leave. So then what? Oh, then you tax the 1% that's still hanging around. Then what? They leave. And everybody leaves until there's nothing but the impoverished and the government. And the government takes everything from the impoverished. There's chaos, anarchy. Troops walk the streets. And they think, and see, they scream about taking away the AR-15 because it looks like an assault rifle. How would you like to have military personnel walking around the streets with M16s? 30 caliber machine guns, 50 caliber machine guns, driving around armored vehicles. Is that what you want? I see, in looking at the way things go in the world, look at Venezuela. It's in the pits. They have killed their society down there. They have taken everything from them. The government is doing nothing for them. And now they have a military-run government. There's riots, there's chaos. The people in charge in the government aren't doing a thing about anything. And the people are dying. Is that what we want in the United States? You've got to think about it. You're going to vote in 42 days. And think about it. Who do you trust? Do you trust people that are lying to you right now? Saying that they trust this woman that they know nothing about? But yet they don't trust a man that has been investigated 6 times by the FBI? Really? And it's not that they don't trust him. It's that they don't want him in the Supreme Court because he is the fifth Republican conservative constitutionalist Christian to be in the Supreme Court. They don't want judgments to go to the side of the conservative Christian. They don't want it. They want to say, hey, we're Santa Claus, we'll give you everything. But then they'll kick you in the teeth when they tell you we're going to overtax you, we're going to overregulate you, we're going to take everything from you until you are so impoverished that you have to beg us for everything that you have. Who do you trust? Look at the Republicans. Look at what President Trump is doing right now in this country. There are numbers that are outstanding. Jobs, housing, trade, energy, everything is on the up, not the down. We get liberal, socialist Democrats in office, and they're going to tear this country to nothing, into poverty, so that like Obama was doing, he was breaking down the military. And anybody that wanted to walk in and say, hey, this country's mine now, you ain't got nothing to fight with. Is that what we want? To see who's going to walk in and say, ha ha, I own it. The Chinese, the Russians, who knows, the Iranians. We don't want that. We want our freedoms. And who do I trust? Ask me, who do I trust? I trust God. And anyone that lives by God's principles, that will tell you, I believe that God is the Creator, Jesus is the Messiah, the Savior of mankind, and that the Holy Spirit is here with us to guide us wherever you're at, whether you're a ditch digger or a Supreme Court justice. I trust my God, the one true living God. That's all I've got for now. Please pray. Pray that this country will turn and recognize God is the Creator and that we have sinned and we need to seek forgiveness for the sins that we have committed. And when we do that, God will bless this country abundantly like you wouldn't believe. I'm William Ferguson, and this is Common Sense.